出处是在出埃及记12章1到28节。我们正道的讲的是毕老师，那我们请毕老师。
你要不要先不用了。弟兄姐妹平安哈。那首先，先让我们念这个出埃及记12章1到28节。老师还是希望我们念一下哈。那我念好了。耶和华在埃及地晓谕摩西、亚伦说：“你们要以本月为正月，为1年之首。你们吩咐以色列会众说：本月初10日，个人要按着父家取羊羔，1家1只。若一家的人太少，吃不下1只羊羔，本人就要和他隔壁的邻舍共取1只。你们预备羊羔，要按着人数和饭量计算，要无残疾1岁的公羊羔，你们或从绵羊里取，或从山羊里取都可以。要留到本月14日，在黄昏的时候，以色列全会众把羊羔宰了，各家都要取一点血，涂在吃羊羔的房屋左右的门框上和门楣上。各当夜要吃羊羔的血，羊羔的肉用火烤了，与无酵饼和苦菜同吃，不可吃生的，更不可吃水煮的，要带着头、腿、五脏用火烤了吃，不可剩下一点留到早晨。我留到早晨要用火烧了。你们吃羊羔要当腰间束带，脚上穿鞋，手中拿杖，赶紧的吃，这是耶和华的逾越节。因为那夜我要巡行埃及地，把埃及地一切投生的，无论是人是牲畜，都击杀了。又要败坏埃及一切的神，我是耶和华。这血要在你们所住的房屋上做记号，我一见这血就越过你们去。我击杀埃及地投生的时候，灾殃必不临到你们身上灭你。你们要纪念这日，守为耶和华的节，作为你们世世代代永远的定例。你们要吃无酵饼7日，头1日要把酵从你们各家中除去，因为从头1日起到第7日为止，凡吃有酵之饼的，必从以色列中解除。头1日你们当有盛会，第7日也当有盛会。这2日之内，除了预备个人所要吃的以外，无论何工都不可做。你们要守无酵节，因为我正当这日把你们的军队从埃及地领出来，所以你们要守这日，作为世世代代永远的定例。从正月14日晚上直到21日晚上，你们要吃无酵饼。在你们各家中7日之内不可有酵，因为凡吃有酵之物的，无论是寄居的，是本地的，必从以色列的会中解除。有酵的物你们都不可吃，在你们一切住处要吃无酵饼。于是摩西召了以色列的众长老来，对他们说：你们要按着家中家口取出羊羔，把这逾越节的羊羔宰了，拿一把牛膝草，浇盆里的血，打在门楣上和左右的门框上。你们谁也不可出自己的房门，直到早晨，因为耶和华要巡行击杀埃及人。他看见血在门楣上和左右的门框上，就必越过那门，不容灭命的进入你们房屋，击杀你们。这例你们要守的，作为你们和你们子孙永远的定例。日后你们到了耶和华按着所应许赐给你们的那地，就要守这里。你们的儿女问你们说：行这里是什么意思呢？你们就说：这是献给耶和华逾越节的祭。当以色列人在埃及的时候，他击杀埃及人，越过以色列人的房屋，救了我们各家。于是百姓低头下拜。耶和华怎样吩咐摩西、亚伦、以色列人，就怎样行。以上是上帝的话。 各位早安。
I've been talking about the law this weekend.
在周末的时候，我们都一直在讨论到律法的东西。
And yesterday, some of us spent the afternoon looking at the Ten Commandments.
昨天我们花了一个下午的时间看十诫这个主题。
Later today, we'll consider what the law says about loving God and neighbor.
今天下午我们会继续讨论有关律法里面所讲到的爱神跟爱邻舍，也就是爱人如己这两个主题。
But for this sermon, we've read the instructions for the Passover.
在今天的讲道中，我们刚刚已经听到有关逾越节的吩咐。
Much of the text explains how to prepare for the first Passover in Egypt.
我们刚刚念的经文里面有许多的部分都提到以色列人如何在埃及准备这个逾越节。
If you have your Bible open in front of you, look again at verses 14, 17, 24, 25.
如果你手上有圣经的话，麻烦你再看一下14节、17节、24节、25节。
These verses anticipate future observances of Passover.
这些经节都要求以色列人将来还要再继续守逾越节。
Moreover, chapter 12 is a part of the narrative about the 10th plague and the exodus from Egypt.
况且第12节的内容还包含了上帝所降的第10灾，还有将来要出埃及的一个记载。
So then we find a mix of narrative and legislation.
所以我们发现到这一段的经节呢，混杂的这个叙事体，还有有关律法的一个条例。
Much of the material in this part of Exodus is familiar to us Christians.
出埃及记中这个部分的许多内容对基督徒都是相当熟悉的。
Children who attend Sunday school learn about the plagues and about the Exodus.
在主日学里面的小孩子都知道这个上帝所降的10灾，还有出埃及的故事。
And just about every Christian knows the Jews still celebrate the Passover.
那么几乎每个基督徒都知道犹太人到至今呢仍在守逾越节。
Some Christians even participate in Passover rituals.
有些基督徒甚至参加了这个逾越节的晚餐。
Moreover, Christians usually know that Jesus instituted the Lord's Supper during a Passover meal.
而且呢，基督徒都知道耶稣是在逾越节的时候呢设立了这个圣餐，也就是我们今天要领受的。
Of course, you and I are going to participate in the Lord's Supper in just a few minutes.
所以之后呢，我们都要一起来领受这个圣餐。
In this sermon, I want us to consider the connection between the Passover and the Lord's Supper.
在今日的正道里面，我要大家思想逾越节跟圣餐之间的关系。
More specifically, what does the connection between the Passover and the Lord's Supper mean for you who will soon eat the bread and drink the cup?
更具体的说，我们要讨论的就是这逾越节跟圣餐之间的关系，对你们即将领用圣餐的人来讲有什么意义？
To answer this question, we have to go back to the first Passover in Exodus 12.
如果要回答这个问题的话，我们首先要回到出埃及记第12章中里面讲到的第一次的逾越节。
What I want you to see in Exodus 12 is the interest of verses 7 and 13 in commitment to God.
我要你们在出埃及记12章当中所看到的重点，就是在于第7节跟第13节。这里面以色列人投向了上帝之后。
At Passover, the Israelites identified with God instead of Pharaoh and committed themselves to him.
在逾越节的时候，以色列人选择要站在上帝的那一边，而离弃了法老，并将他们完全献给上帝。
In other words, the Israelites had to do something.
换言之，以色列人必须要为这个决定要采取某一些行动。
I make this observation because Christians tend to lump together the Passover and the Exodus.
我之所以要这样子说的原因是，因为基督徒往往会将逾越节与出埃及这两件事情呢绑在一起。
And indeed, the Exodus did occur the day after the Passover event.
而且没有错出埃及的确是发生在逾越节后的第一天。
During the Exodus, God sovereignly rescued his people from Pharaoh's grip.
在出埃及的期间，上帝用他的大能将他的子民从法老的魔爪中拯救出来。
The point is that the Israelites contributed nothing to Pharaoh's defeat during the Exodus.
我的重点就是说，在出埃及的期间，以色列人在击败法老王这件事情上是一点功劳都没有的。
All they did was walk out of Egypt and walk through the Red Sea.
他们所做的只不过就是走离开埃及而已，然后就是走过穿越红海而已。
God did everything else.
上帝呢做了其他一切的事情。
And for this reason, the Exodus is the major redemptive event of the Old Testament.
因此，出埃及是旧约的主要的救赎事件。
It showcases the greatness and goodness of God.
这个事件呢，展现出上帝的伟大还有慈爱。
But what is often overlooked is what the Israelites had to do before the Exodus.
但是呢，我们常常忽略了一件事情，就是以色列人呢，必须在以色列人在出埃及之前，他们要做的事情。
Their activity before the Exodus suggests a connection between the Passover and the Lord's Supper.
他们在出埃及之前所做的事情呢，就暗示了逾越节与圣餐这两者之间的有一个关系。
And their activity also helps us understand what effect the Lord's Supper should have on us.
这样子的这种关系呢，也帮助我们了解圣餐对我们应当有何种影响。
Now let's back up a moment and consider what happened before the Exodus.
现在就让我们来回头看一下，同时思想出埃及之前到底发生了什么事。
The Israelites had been living in Egypt for centuries.
以色列人在埃及已经居住了达几百年的时间了。
And during this time, they did not hear directly from God.
在这个期间呢，他们并未直接的从上帝听到他的话语。
Jacob, in Genesis 46, was the last person to receive a specific message from God.
在创世纪46章里面，雅各是最后一个从上帝听到明确信息的人。
God had told Jacob not to be afraid to go to Egypt because God would bring his family back to the promised land.
上帝已经告诉了雅各不要害怕下埃及去，因为上帝将来会把他的家人带回应许之地。
Decades and centuries passed, and Jacob's descendants remained in Egypt.
但是经过了430年，雅各的后裔仍然留在埃及。
In fact, they became slaves and suffered grievous oppression.
事实上呢，他们反而成了奴隶了，并受到痛苦的压迫。
The opening chapters of Exodus give the impression that their faith and hope had waned in these circumstances.
出埃及记的前几章让人们看到，就是在这种光景里面呢，他们的信心与盼望都逐渐的消失殆尽了。
Pharaoh seemed more real to them than the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
对他们而言，法老王似乎比亚伯拉罕、以撒、雅各的上帝更为真实。
They were inclined to think that God had either forgotten his promises or was being overpowered by Pharaoh.
他们往往以为，上帝如果不是已经忘了他的应许的话，他或者上帝就是被法老王所胜过的。
Either way, it seemed as if Pharaoh was the real master.
无论他们是怎么想的，法老王似乎才是他们以色列人真正的主子。
When Pharaoh said, "Make bricks," they made bricks.
当法老王命令说要做砖块，以色列人就乖乖的做砖块。
Now, can you identify with the Israelites?
你能够体会以色列人当时的处境吗？
Here you are in church hearing the promises of God in song, prayer, and scripture.
我们现在在教会里面，在诗歌、祷告及圣经的经节中，听到了上帝的应许。
But you also experience a lot of contrary evidence in your life beyond this church.
但是呢，我们在教会以外的生活中，也经历到许多和教会的生活有矛盾或者是对立的这些事情。
Evil so often seems to prevail over good and create misery.
有时候呢，邪恶似乎胜过了善，在人生呢带来了许多苦难。
Perhaps you like the Israelites, feel abandoned by God or someone else.
或许你就好如同以色列人一样，感到自己被上帝或者被其他人弃绝了。
Maybe someone is trying to cheat you out of what rightfully belongs to you.
也许某个人正想办法要从你那里骗取本来就应该是你的东西的。
Or you to recall a Christmas carol might be bending low under life's crushing load.
或者是你因为生活的压力，你不得不取消参加这个圣诞节报佳音的这个服饰。
That load might involve poor health, economic hardship, or dashed dreams.
那这些压力呢，可能来自于身体的疾病，或者是经济上面的困难，或者是梦想的破碎。
Life is hard in this fallen world, and God can seem distant and uncaring.
在这个堕落的世界里面呢，人生充满了困难，而上帝似乎离我们很遥远，好像一点也不关心我们。
We can wonder if God has forgotten us or run short on strength to help us.
我们可能会纳闷，上帝是否已经忘记了我们，或者是他力有未逮，无法帮助我们。
Our belief and hope can dwindle until we become self-reliant or despairing.
在我们认为一切都要靠自己，或者在完全绝望之前呢，我们的信念与盼望呢会日渐的衰微。
Either way, we might stop praying because we don't think that anyone will answer.
无论我们在哪一种情况中，我们可能就会停止祷告，因为我们不认为自己的祷告会有任何的回应。
At such times, we have something in common with the Israelites in Egypt.
就在这样子的光景中，我们与居住在埃及地的以色列人就有了共通点。
Now we come to Exodus 12.
那现在我们要来看出埃及记12章。
God, through Moses, tells the weary Israelites to smear lamb's blood on the doorposts.
上帝透过摩西告诉以色列人，要将羔羊的血涂在房屋两边的门框及门楣上。
After that, they are to prepare the lamb's meat for dinner.
之后呢，他们就要准备逾越节晚餐所要吃的羔羊的肉。
But why the blood on the front of the house?
但是呢，为什么要将血呢涂在这个房屋的前面呢？
How will that help the situation?
他们这样子做，对他们当时的困境有什么帮助呢？
Putting blood on the doorpost has to do with the Israelites' response to God's word through Moses.
将血涂在门框上的原因，与以色列人如何回应上帝透过摩西所讲的话有关的。
God says that he'll pass through Egypt and distinguish between those who are for him and against him.
上帝说，他将要走遍埃及地，并且要分开哪些是属于他的，哪些是抵挡他的。
You have your Bible in front of you. Look at verse 13. It calls the blood a sign.
如果你们有圣经的话，你们看13节，13节将血呢称作是一个记号。
The blood on the doorpost is a simple test of faith and commitment.
在门框上的血是一个对上帝的信心与委身最简单的试验。
If a person identifies with God and believes his promises, then he or she will smear that blood.
一个人如果站在上帝的这一边的话，并且相信上帝的应许，那么这个人会把血涂在门框上。
This act of obedience will signify a person's desire to be a part of God's plan for his world.
顺服行动的意义呢，就代表了一个人愿意参与上帝对他所造之世界的计划。
He or she declares that God is more real to him or her than Pharaoh in all of his pomp and power.
这个人即使面对着自我夸耀，还有掌握大权的法老王，也会宣称上帝比法老王更实在、更真实。
The blood is the public evidence of commitment to God.
血代表一个人公开表明他对上帝的委身。
Meanwhile, a person who disbelieves God and fears Pharaoh will have a clean doorpost.
同时呢，如果不相信上帝，而且惧怕法老王的人，他们的门框都是很干净的，都没有血的。
that person has renounced any share in God's redemptive activity.
那么这个人呢，已经放弃了加入上帝救赎计划中的权利了。
So at bottom, Passover involved a declaration of ultimate loyalty to God.
所以实际上，逾越节的意义呢，包含了一个对上帝至死忠心的一个宣告。
God's people had to follow God wherever He, through His prophet, led them.
上帝的子民必须在上帝先知的引导之下，走向上帝要他们前往的地方。
And they had to believe that He would provide for their needs.
而且他们要相信，上帝会供应他们一切所需的。
God may have sovereignly brought His people out of Egypt.
上帝可以施展他的大能，将自己的百姓从埃及地拯救出来。
But His people consisted of those who believed His word through Moses and obeyed it.
但是上帝的子民是由那一些信靠上帝透过摩西所讲的话，并顺服这些话的人所组成的。
In other words, they identified with God's kingdom and not with Pharaoh's.
换言之，这些人认同上帝的国度，而不是法老的国度。
Yes, God did the delivering with incredible displays of power.
没有错，上帝施展了令人不可思议的大能，拯救了他的子民。
But only those people who believed what God said through Moses came out of Egypt.
但是离开埃及的，却是那些信靠上帝透过摩西所说的话的人。
God will have a people for His name, and He will do great things for them.
上帝将为自己的名呢建立自己的民族，而上帝也会为这个民族行大而可畏的事。
But not everyone is part of the people of God.
但是上帝的子民并不是包括这其中的每一个人。
God's people may not secure their own escape from Egypt,
上帝的子民可能无法靠自己安全的离开埃及，
but they must believe and obey what God tells them to do.
但是他们必须相信并且顺服上帝告诉他们要做的事情。
Blood on the doorpost was the evidence of being committed to God.
涂在这个门框上的血是一个人对上帝委身的明证。
The death of the firstborn children and animals reinforces the necessity of obedience.
上帝呢，把埃及一切投生的，无论是人是牲畜，都击杀了。
Firstborn children and animals represent the next generation and therefore the future.
人与牲畜的这个投生呢，就代表着新的一代，因此这一些也就是象征着埃及的未来。
The premature death of the firstborn symbolizes the death of Egypt.
结果投生的人对牲畜提前的死亡，这就象征着埃及的死亡。
So then, putting the blood on the doorpost gives a future.
因此，将血涂在这个门框上，给许了人们一个未来，一个盼望。
Without the blood, there's no future.
没有血就没有未来。
God will give a future to His people.
上帝会给他自己的百姓一个未来。
Each person, Jew or Gentile, must decide if he or she wants to be a part of what God is doing.
每一个人，无论是犹太人或者是外邦人，都必须决定他们是否要加入上帝的阵营。
So then, Passover isn't just about what God is doing.
所以逾越节的意义并不仅止于上帝所做的工作而已。
It confronts each person with a choice to believe God or not.
他向每个人提出了一个挑战，就是你到底要不要相信上帝？
Now, the same decision confronts you at the Lord's Supper.
同样的，这个挑战也在今天的圣餐中向你们发出来。
When you eat the bread and drink the cup, you identify with what God is doing through Jesus.
当你吃这个饼、喝这个杯的时候，你就认同上帝透过耶稣基督所做的工作。
In other words, you do more than remember what God did for you on the cross.
换言之，除了思想耶稣在十字架上所为你所做的事以外呢，你还做了其他的事情。
You also indicate that you want to honor Jesus in your life.
你同时也表明了你要在一生当中遵从耶稣基督。
When we observe the Lord's Supper, we say that we are loyal to Jesus.
当我们守圣餐的时候，我们就表明了我们顺服耶稣基督，对他忠心。
We dedicate ourselves anew to serving Him in every aspect of our
我
lives.
们将自己重新献上，为了在生活中每一个层面服侍他。
This means that we want to promote His reputation and kingdom.
这样就表示了我们要传扬耶稣的名，并拓展他的国度。
How we do that, though, is not left up to us to decide.
至于我们要怎么样做到这一点呢，就不是我们自己可以决定的。
The purpose of the law that follows the Exodus is to tell God's people how to live for Him.
出埃及记之后所记载的律法，它的目的呢，就是要告诉上帝的百姓如何为着上帝而活。
And much of the New Testament has the same purpose.
新约中有许多相关的记载，也有相同的目的。
So then, the Lord's Supper is not just about what God did at the first coming of Jesus.
所以呢，圣餐呢，并非只是关乎上帝在耶稣第一次来到世上的时候他所做的事情。
It also concerns our decision to identify with God's plan and commit ourselves to it.
它也关乎了我们要认同上帝的计划，并将自己完全投入在其中的抉择。
Now, what I just said might cause some concern.
我刚才所讲的可能会造成你们一些疑虑。
If Jesus focused the Passover on Him, I seem to have focused it on us.
如果耶稣呢将逾越节的这个焦点呢放在他自己的身上，而我呢似乎把这个重心呢转移到我们自己的身上。
Now, it is true that Jesus talked about His body and blood that were broken and shed for His disciples.
耶稣论到自己的血身体和血是为了他的门徒而破碎而流出的，这是没有错的。
And we Christians immediately think of the atoning value of Jesus' death.
而基督徒呢，一听到这个的时候，我们马上就会联想到耶稣的死在赎罪上面的价值。
Exodus 12, however, never says that the Passover lamb atoned for sin.
然而在出埃及记12章里面，却没有说逾越节的羊羔是用来赎罪的。
Perhaps this is so because God had not yet revealed the sacrificial system that's described in the book of Leviticus.
为什么没有提到赎罪呢？这个的原因有可能是因为上帝当时仍然还未向以色列启示在利未记当中的那个献祭制度。
Still, the blood of the Passover lamb is said to divert the wrath of God away from those who obey the instruction of Moses.
然而，圣经记载逾越节羔羊的血是为了将上帝的愤怒将从那些听从摩西指示的人身上移转走。
And where there is no blood, God's wrath is not propitiated.
如果没有血的话，上帝的愤怒就没有办法移转。
Exodus 12 then seems to convey substitutionary atonement in seed form.
出埃及记12章似乎为着耶稣代替罪人赎罪这件事情呢，预先埋下了伏笔了。
Jesus then can legitimately draw a connection between Passover and His death that the Lord's Supper remembers.
如此，耶稣才可以正当的将逾越节与他的死呢关联在一起。而圣餐呢，就是纪念他的死。
He indicates that God's promise of deliverance from evil in all of its forms finds ultimate fulfillment in His death.
耶稣表示，上帝要将百姓从各样的罪中拯救出来，而这个工作最终的实现就在他的死当中。
So then, you at the Lord's Supper acknowledge your sin and your need for a Savior.
所以，当你在领受圣餐的时候呢，你认自己的罪，同时也承认自己需要一位救赎。
More than that, you say that Jesus, by virtue of His righteous life and atoning death, is your Savior.
不仅如此，你还表明耶稣凭着他公义的生命，还有这个有赎罪功效的死，已经成为你们的救主了。
You affirm your trust in His work to secure a right relationship with God.
借着你对耶稣基督工作的肯定，你与上帝维系了一个正确的关系。
In other words, you do remember what God has done for you in Jesus.
换言之，你的确纪念上帝在耶稣里所为你所做的事情。
But there's more.
但是不仅如此，
Trusting what Jesus did in the past should lead to commitment in the present.
对耶稣过去所做的事情的信靠，应该在我们现今当中带出我们对耶稣的委身。
Now, those of you who have a Bible open in front of you, notice that verses 14, 17, 24, and 25 anticipate and even command future observances of the Passover.
如果你们有圣经的话，你们可以看到第14节、17节、24节、25节，在这些经节里面都要求，甚至命令以色列人将来要守逾越节。
God knew that his people would soon forget what he had done for them.
上帝知道他的百姓很快就会忘记上帝所为他们所做的事。
And the Old Testament bears witness to Israel's many instances of forgetfulness.
旧约也见证了许多以色列人忘恩负义的事件。
And when they forgot, they would panic and resort to ineffective sources of security.
而且呢，当他们忘记了上帝的恩典的时候呢，他们常常弄得惊慌失措，而且寻找那些没有办法给他们避风，没有办法让他们遮风避雨的避风港。
They would try anything to get what they wanted, or to avoid getting what they didn't want.
他们会尝试各种方式呢，获得他们想要的东西，或者尝试要逃避那些他们不想要的东西。
In the process, they would become self-centered and hurt other people.
就在这样的过程当中呢，他们就变成以自我为中心，而且还伤害其他人。
The annual celebration of Passover was designed to counter their waywardness.
一年一度的逾越节，它的设计呢，本来是为了防止他们偏行己路的。
It was a means of grace to overcome faltering belief and to encourage perseverance.
它的目的呢，是要作为恩典的疏通的管道，借以防备信心的败坏，并且激励百姓在患难中忍耐。
By reliving the escape from Egypt, the Israelites remembered the power and goodness of God.
借由再次体验以色列人当初逃离埃及这个事件，以色列人就想起了上帝的大能及慈爱。
The God who helped them in the past could still care for them in the future.
上帝过去曾经帮助他们，他仍旧会在未来关心他们的需要。
No matter what was happening, years after the Exodus, God was still a reliable source of help.
无论在出埃及记之后多久以后发生了什么事情，上帝仍是他们最可靠的帮助。
There was no need to despair, no need to disobey.
他们不必感到绝望，并且背逆上帝。
We Christians also forget who God is, what He has done, and what He has promised.
作为基督徒的我们也常常忘记上帝是怎么样一位的上帝，以及他过去他为我们所做的，还有他给我们的应许是哪些。
Instead of observing Passover, we have the Lord's Supper.
所以当然我们今天不会这个有逾越节的晚餐，但是我们今天会有守圣餐。
Perhaps you've heard a pastor refer to the Lord's Supper as a means of grace.
或许你曾经听到某一些牧师说，圣餐是我们领受恩典的工具。
By ritually reenacting the death of Jesus, the Lord's Supper helps us remember what God has already done for us.
借由在仪式上重现耶稣基督的死，圣餐帮助我们想起上帝已经为我们所做的事。
Remembering what God has done in the past strengthens our faith in the present.
当我们回想上帝过去所做的事的时候，就会加添我们现今的信心。
Remembering encourages us to trust now and in the future.
回想上帝过去的事情，会激励我们在现今还在未来都要信靠上帝。
The God who was at work in the past is still working now.
在过去工作的上帝，现今依然工作。
If God was sufficient for the needs of His people then He is sufficient for your needs today.
如果上帝过去充足的供应他的百姓，他也可以在现今充足的满足你的需要。
He can be trusted.
你是可以信靠他的。
We can commit our lives to Him. and know that He won't fail
我
us.
们可以将一生献给上帝，并且知道上帝不会让我们失望的。
We come now to the Lord's Supper.
我们今天来领受圣餐，
Remember what God has done for you at the first coming of
我们
Jesus.
一起纪念耶稣第一次来到世上所做的事，
But also consider the requirement of Passover to put blood on the doorposts.
但是呢，我们也要思想到逾越节的要求，就是要将血涂在这个门框上。
In the context of talking about the Lord's Supper, Paul told the Corinthians to examine themselves.
当保罗论到圣餐的时候，他告诉哥林多教会的人要省察自己。
That was his way of saying that they and you have a decision to make.
保罗用这种方式来告诉他们，也是告诉你们要做一个抉择。
Will your remembrance of Jesus lead you to identify with Him in thought, word, and deed?
当你纪念耶稣的时候，你的思想、你的言语、你的行为都会转向耶稣基督吗？
If so, what will your commitment look like this week?
如果你会的话，那么你在这个新的一个礼拜的生活里面，你要怎么样子将自己献给耶稣基督呢？你会怎么做呢？
Let's pray.
让我们一起祷告。
Thank you, O God, for the reading and the preaching of this portion of your word.
感谢主，我们今天能够来读、来宣讲你经节。
We pray that you will bless both to our spiritual edification.
求主你能够使用这两者，都来帮助我们在我们的属灵上面的这个需要，
and to the advancement of Christ's kingdom in our midst.
而且有助于这个国度的这个推广。阿门。